In the summer of 1916, the British and French launched a massive offensive along the River Somme in northern France. The aim was ambitious: to break the deadlock of trench warfare that had locked both sides into a static, brutal stalemate since late 1914, to relieve pressure on French forces suffering enormous losses at Verdun, and to turn the tide of the war in the Allies' favor. But what unfolded over the next 5 months was not a breakthrough. It was one of the most devastating bloodbaths in modern history. The battle began on July 1st, a day that would go down in infamy. From the very first hour, the scale of the miscalculation became evident. For a full week before the attack, British artillery relentlessly bombarded German positions, firing over 1.5 million shells. Commanders were confident it would obliterate enemy defenses, but the Germans had built deep, reinforced bunkers underground. And when the shelling stopped, they emerged with machine guns ready. When British troops climbed out of their trenches and advanced shoulder to shoulder into no man's land, many believed the enemy had already been neutralized. What awaited them instead was a storm of bullets, shells, and wire. Within hours, nearly 60,000 British soldiers were killed or wounded. It was the single worst day in British military history, and tragically, it was only the beginning. The battle continued for 141 days. The front turned into a grinding, merciless war of attrition. Soldiers fought not just the enemy, but the landscape itself. Thick mud, cratered terrain, rain that never seemed to stop. Trenches flooded, bodies piled up. The smell of death became constant. Soldiers went to sleep beside corpses and woke up to the scream of shells. Rats grew fat on human remains. The dead were often unburied, left where they fell. Towns and villages, Thiepval, Mametz, Delville Wood, became killing grounds. They were taken, lost, and taken again, often at the cost of thousands of lives for mere yards of earth. Medical stations overflowed. Men arrived with limbs gone, lungs burned by gas, faces unrecognizable. Many never made it that far. In September, a new machine appeared on the battlefield: the tank. Lumbering armored beasts that crawled over trenches and crushed barbed wire. They were unreliable, frequently bogging down or breaking apart, but they marked a shift in warfare. For the first time, mechanization entered the battlefield in force. It was the beginning of a new, even more terrifying age of war. By the time the Battle of the Somme ended in November, over 1 million men from both sides were dead, wounded, or missing. The Allies had advanced just 6 miles. No clear victory was won, no decisive advantage gained. But everything had changed. The old world, the world of noble charges and swift campaigns, was gone. In its place stood a vision of war stripped of all romance, mechanical, industrial, impersonal, and horrifying. The Somme didn't end the war, but it shattered illusions. It exposed the cruelty of modern warfare. It scarred a generation, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually. The fields where it happened are quiet now. The grass has grown back, but beneath the surface lies a graveyard of steel and bone, a silent witness to a battle where courage met chaos and hope drowned in mud. If you're fascinated by battle stories, both ancient and modern, and want to dive deeper into the chaos, strategy, and glory of war, then subscribe to our channel. We bring history to life through AI, sharing legendary clashes and untold tales. Like, comment, and share with your friends and family. We promise you won't be disappointed.